this is only problem 2, and the entire problem is literally that long. That's crazy. But anyways, we can solve this problem. So as you see here, we have a long word problem, and what we do with long word problems, or word problems in general, we translate the words into equations. So even if it's long, extremely long, we still do that. Okay, now we're gonna start. So as you see here, first sentence, a model used to estimate blah 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 is of the form T is equal to A times L plus B times G. I want to make sure to write that down. Write that down. And then over here, they're just explaining what T, L, and all the variables mean. And then the real juicy part comes over here. So the model estimates that will take 69 minutes to hike to the top of a trail. Okay, so if it takes 69 minutes, that's in our model right here, the variable. T is equal to the time, or in minutes. So 69 minutes is our T variable because it's the time, and it says if a trail is 1.5 miles long. So if a trail is 1.5 miles long, what is L? L is the length of the trail in miles. So if it's 1.5 miles 1.5 miles long, then we multiply, substitute 1.5 into L, and then we have 1.5a. Okay, and then it also says ascends 800 feet. And right here, we know that g is the altitude gain in feet. Okay, so we substitute 100 into our equation for g, and that's the altitude gain in feet. And then we have 800b. And we could do the same for the next equation. We can do the same for the next sentence, translate it into another equation. Okay, so as we see here, it will take 69 minutes as well. So 69 minutes as well. And it is the trail. Let me erase this. Okay, so a trail is 1.2 miles long. So if a trail is 1.2 miles long, then right here, the L is the length of the trail in miles, 1.2 miles long. We substitute it into the equation for L. Yep. For some reason, it won't let me write. My pen's not working for some reason. Okay, anyways, right here, 1.2 times A, and then we also substitute 1100. So we have for G, which is the altitude gain, ascends 1100 feet. We substitute into the equation as well. So we have 1.2a plus 1100b is equal to 69. And as you see here, this is just a system of equations. So we can solve this system of equations, and we can, the smartest way is just 16. Oh, wait, anyways. Okay, we just solved the system of equations. There's probably another smart way, but just to be safe during the test, make sure to just solve for the system of equations. Okay, so I don't want decimals. Obviously, it's personal preference, but I don't want decimals, so we multiply everything by 10. We also do that for the second equation too. And second equation too, even though the variables are a little large, you can obviously divide by something like 3, for example. Actually, no, 3 won't work, but like you know what I mean. You can divide by something if you feel like the variables are too large. Okay, so as you see here, if we're trying to eliminate a, the variable a, then we can first multiply the first equation by 4 to make sure that a is 60. There's 60 a's, and then we can also multiply the second equation by 5, make sure there's 60 a's as well. Okay, so we multiply by 4, first equation by 4, and then we have this, and then we also multiply by this. Obviously, I kind of have to do some calculations here on the fly. 24, 27. This is obviously raw, so you know what I mean? Okay, anyways. So we multiply by 5 the second equation. So you have 60a plus 55,000b is equal to 69. 69 times 5, 4, 30, 34. Okay. So 34, 50. Okay, as you see here, and we eliminate a, so we can subtract the second question by the first. No, we can, yeah, we can start the first equation by the second. So, anyways, so we have subtract this, and then we get that. So we have 23,000 B is equal to um 690, I believe. So that means B is equal to 3 over 100, I think. Yeah, 3 over 100. It should be, yeah, 3 over 100. Okay. So B is equal to 3 over 100. A is, we can just substitute it into any equation we want. I'll do, what's a good equation that I want to substitute in? Okay, anyways, I'll just substitute it into this equation right here. So we substitute, actually, I want to do a different equation. I want to do a simpler equation. So we substitute B into here. So 3 over 100 is B. And then we multiply by 8,000. So 3 over 100. And then boom, boom, 240. And then we subtract by 240. So we have 450. And then we have is equal to 15A. A is equal to 30. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, to get started, we have to first make sure that we have translate this entire word problem into equations. We have the equations, and then all you have to do is solve. I know it's not easy during the test because you're in a time crunch. You have a lot of stuff. You're basically trying to solve this lengthy word problem, but you just want to make sure that you stay organized. Obviously, this isn't really that organized, but as long as you solve the problem correctly, that's good. So B is equal to 3 over 100, and A is equal to 30. And as you see here, it's asking 4.2 miles long, 4,000 feet. Okay, so we go back to our original equation. So since we already know B, it's 3 over 100. So 3 over 100 multiplied by G plus 30L is equal to T. So we just basically found out what we solve for, and then we just substitute into the first equation, and then we can just solve. So we have 4.2 miles long. 4.2 is L in this instance. L is 4.2. The reason why is because it's 4.2 miles long. In the earlier, as we mentioned before, L is the length of the trail miles. So we can just plug that in, 4.2 into here, and it ascends 4,000 feet. So if it ascends 4,000 feet, we also that means 4,000. G is equal to 4,000 because that's the altitude gain in feet, and we have that. So you just plug it in, and then you get. I mean, yeah, I'll do it with you. 126 plus 4,000. Boom, boom, boom. And then we get, I believe, 120. So T in time, which is what we're trying to find, it says how many minutes does the model estimate it will take to the hike to the top of the trail. So we're trying to find T, and since we already plugged these two variables in, we have no more variables left, and all there is T. So we have T is equal to 126 plus 120, and that's 246. So the answer is, hold on, let me erase this. So the answer is B. Again,